Welcome back, everyone. Today we have another dream analysis video for you guys, and we have a special one today. For the first time on Deep Thought, I'm taking apart a subscriber's dream. This is not my own dream, this is one of yours. I've said it in all of my dream analysis videos. If you guys want to share your dreams with me on this channel and have them analyzed in a video, definitely let me know down below in the comments. Just share your dream. Let me know if I can actually do it in a video. I don't want to assume anything and share something that's a little bit too personal. But if you guys want me to analyze your dreams in these videos, definitely let me know. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I do think I'm a lot better at analyzing other people's dreams than my own. Marie von Franz famously said that it's very difficult for people to analyze their own dreams because dreams reveal to you parts of your unconscious. It's parts that are unknown, underneath, abstract, right? Hidden to you. So that's why they come about in dreams. You kind of got to piece together the puzzle and solve it. And sometimes it can help to have somebody else to kind of put things together and get an alternative perspective. Because like I said, your dreams are revealing to you the aspects of yourself that are unconscious by definition. So it can be a little bit easier at times to analyze somebody else's dream. And today, this dream is very interesting. It's beautiful and powerful, and I'm going to call it the golden mechanism or the golden circle because the subscriber didn't give me a title for their dream, but that's the element of the dream that pronounces itself the most to me. And I feel like I've found something pretty interesting in this one. So here we go. I'm going to share with you guys the dream as it was submitted to me by the subscriber in his own words, and then I'll break down each part of the dream, and we'll kind of get into the symbolism of each aspect of it. So here's the dream. I'm in the sky. It's pure blue, no clouds. I'm looking upwards into the sky, and there's a big circular mechanism with all kinds of interlockets and smaller mechanisms. The best way I can describe it to you is if you've ever played Skyrim, and if you were in a dungeon, there'd be a closed wall you'd get to, and you'd have to use this pattern on an item, and you have to line up the symbols on the door the same as they are on the item, and it would cause the mechanism of the door to move together and unlock the door. These were inside the circular object and were all moving around each other. Some were blue, red, green, all kinds of bright colors. They eventually locked together and stopped. The entire circular object then became solid gold. After a few seconds, I started falling rapidly back to Earth. As soon as I fell through my roof of my apartment and was about to land in my real body where I was sleeping, I instantly woke up grasping for air. Although I wasn't scared. It wasn't a fearful dream, but it was powerful. So, a fairly simple and short dream, although a lot happens in it. I'm going to show you guys here in a second that every single detail that subscriber shared with me is important, and every single detail has a unique piece of symbolism that goes along with it. Now, this dream is not a dive really into the unconscious, really into the chaos that kind of my grandma's house dream was. That was a very fearful dream. It was a terrifying dream for me to experience, and that was kind of a dive into the unconscious, where here, the subscriber's having a dream that's as conscious as an unconscious dream can get, if that makes any sense. Your dreams, right, they take place within the unconscious, and they bring about those elements of which that are unconscious to you. But sometimes you can have dreams that are a little bit more rooted in the abstract and the unknown, and sometimes you can have dreams that are a little bit more clear-cut. They're a little bit more conscious in a way. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not confusing people there, but let's analyze the first aspect of the dream, which is the sky. So we begin this dream in the sky, and the sky is pure blue and cloudless. In Jungian terms, the sky is often symbolic of the conscious mind, intellect, and the spiritual realm. So I think that that's where your dream is taking place in the beginning here. You're in the ethereal, you're in the heavenly, but it's also blue, and blue can represent a couple different things. I don't think all of them are particularly pronounced here in your dream, but blue as a color often represents wisdom, tranquility, and also the unconscious mind. Now, the absence of clouds might seem like a trivial detail, right? It's something that's just kind of thrown in there, but like I said before, every single aspect of this dream is important. And the fact that there aren't any clouds shows that there's no obstruction. There's no obstacles in the way. This is a very clear dream to our subscriber, even though he said that he had a little bit of trouble breaking it down. That's why I'm making this video today, to hopefully help him out. But this dream is also as far as dreams go, fairly straightforward, and the lack of clouds definitely signifies that. The sky can also oftentimes represent the archetype of the father or the self. Now, I wouldn't draw that connection particularly in this dream because I think the self is represented in something else that we're about to talk about, and the father archetype, although, you know, the sky, the heavens is where the great father or the good father, that's where he resides. I don't think that that's particularly shown in your dream here. I think the sky for you, for the subscriber and his dream here, I think the sky represents the spiritual realm in which a transformation is about to happen. And now we get on to the actual mechanism. So next we have the golden mechanism, or the golden circle. And I titled this dream the golden mechanism because this is the most complex and significant symbol in the dream. Now, the subscriber goes on and talks a little bit about Skyrim there and how all these mechanisms lock together. I unfortunately didn't really play Skyrim growing up. I've played it a little bit, don't get me wrong. I've run around in the game and tried some things out, and I've watched other people play it. I have a lot of respect for that game. It's a fantastic game. I didn't get into it at a young enough age, but I do understand what the subscriber means by that, and I think a lot of you guys, especially the more visual ones out there, can kind of see what he means by this circle that's kind of locking together with these smaller mechanisms. Now, what is this circular mechanism? What does it actually symbolize? Well, I think it's pretty clear that it's a mandala. Now, what is a mandala? Well, it's a symbol for the self, for the complete self, for wholeness. So this mandala and circle also has all these little interlockets, these little mechanisms that are clicking together. Now, what are those? Well, they're aspects of the psyche. They're subpersonalities that are trying to align themselves with the greater whole. And when they do all click together and it becomes a golden circle, which we'll get to in a second here, when it transforms like that, that's the process of individuation. That's the process of transformation happening symbolically within his dream. Now, the three colors are also very interesting. Now, I'll probably make a completely separate video sometime shortly here talking about the symbolism of colors in alchemy, because it's very interesting. But red, blue, and green are fairly obvious, and they're the colors that usually pop up the most within dreams. So blue is the unconscious, it's peace and it's spiritual depth. Red is passion, vitality, but also danger or conflict. And green is growth, renewal, and fertility. So if you guys have ever seen a Disney film, you can almost see how these colors are represented throughout a Disney film. I use a Disney film as an example because their stories are very archetypical and symbolic, and they're very clear-cut. That's why the majority of my film analysis videos so far have been Disney films. They're a little bit easier to pull apart, and I find them pretty straightforward. So in a Disney film, you'll often have that blue and spiritual realm, the place where the hero learns and discovers and becomes something. You also have the red zone, which is the conflict. That's the height of the story. That's when they engage with the antagonist. You also have the green bit of the story, which is the renewal, the rebirth, the coming back to home, right? It's the end of Lord of the Rings when they come back to the Shire. So all of that is represented within those colors. And there's also reddening, blackening, and whitening, which often pops up through alchemical symbolism. I'll explain that when I do a full video on the symbolism of alchemical colors, because that'll be a very interesting video. I can't explain it all in today's video, but the subscriber did mention that there are all these little colors within his dream, and then at the end it becomes gold, which lines up perfectly with alchemical thinking. This idea that there are, either sub-personalities, smaller aspects of the psyche, smaller parts of the whole that need to combine and come together and create something larger. So those colors, they all come together and they create gold, which is no mistake. There's a reason why the circle becomes gold, which I'll get to now. So aurum, or gold in alchemical symbolism, represents the highest state of spiritual development. When all these interlockets connect together and the whole thing transforms into gold, this is a moment of integration, a moment of completeness. Now, the Philosopher's Stone is another symbol that's very akin to what you're seeing here with the golden circle. Now, a cool thing about the Philosopher's Stone is the way that J.K. Rowling used it in her series. She could have easily kept the Philosopher's Stone for the last book, but she used it in the first book to kind of almost show that the Philosopher's Stone, it's fleeting. You get to this level of completeness, and then there is another level beyond that, right? There's no complete completeness. That would be the end of your life almost in a way, right? You're never fully whole. You're never fully complete. You might obtain it for a moment, but then there's the next step. There's the next book in the series, right? So I love the way that J.K. Rowling used that. I think that was done deliberately for her to use the Philosopher's Stone in the first book and to not use that as some sort of plot piece in a later book. It's kind of like we deal with this now, and then when we work onto some other bits of mythology and symbolism, and those books and those films are just so jam-packed with alchemical symbolism. I can't wait to do a film analysis video for all of the Harry Potter films. They're going to be a lot of fun. But getting back to the dream here, gold is the quintessential symbol for completion and purity. And that only comes from the transmutation of lesser elements into a greater whole. How was that symbolized? Well, it was symbolized in the mechanisms, the interlocket pieces, and the colors. So all of that has transformed now into this perfect golden circle. And now we'll move on to the next stage of the dream. So next, we fall back to Earth, right? Our hero, our subscriber, he falls back to Earth after witnessing this thing kind of connect together and form a golden circle. He's had this moment, this interaction with the divine and the numinous. He's had this transformative spiritual experience, and now it's time to return to the mundane world, to fall back down to Earth. You see this, again, in stories all over the place. Again, I'll go back to The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. At the end of The Hobbit, he comes back to the Shire, right? He brings back all that he's learnt, all the gold. And his neighbors are a little bit jealous of it, right? Because he's had this experience that they forgoed. None of them took up the challenge. It was only Bilbo that had the courage to go on this adventure. All the other hobbits, they like to stay in their holes, and they like things that how they are, right? There's that tradition, that sense of safety that they have in the Shire. But Bilbo, he goes out and he has his experience, but he also has to come back. He has to return. That always has to be baked into the story. Another interesting part of this dream is the roof itself of the apartment. Again, like I said, every little detail about this dream matters, and that roof is actually a barrier between the unconscious, which is where our subscriber, our hero was having this experience, and the conscious, which is back in his body. So when he drops through that roof, that's when he actually wakes up, grasps for air, and he's back in reality, right? He's conscious again. He's out of the dream now. And then the subscriber says that he was grasping for breath. And what is breath? Where does that come from? What's the Latin word for breath? It's spiritus, which is the same for breath and spirit. Both of those concepts are captured in the Latin word, which is spiritus. So that's very interesting too, I think. So this dream is an absolutely powerful expression of the process of individuation, the alignment and integration of disparate parts of the psyche into a unified whole. The circular mechanism represents the inner world of our subscriber, various aspects of his memories, thoughts, complexes that must be brought into harmony. The locking together of the mechanisms and their transformation into gold suggests a moment of psychological illumination or insight, where the disparate parts of the psyche achieve unity, even just briefly. This is akin to the alchemical process of achieving the Philosopher's Stone, a symbolic state of inner completion and enlightenment. The falling back to earth symbolizes a return from a spiritual or transcendent experience back to the mundane, daily existence. It suggests an integration of newfound insight into the life of our subscriber, which is so beautiful. So yeah, needless to say, this is a deeply alchemical and archetypal dream. It's a powerful and pretty clear expression of the process of individuation and transformation. I think if I was the subscriber, I would take some time and try to paint this dream out, how you saw it, and try to create some art that reflects it, some way to remember it maybe, because this is a dream that I've never had a dream quite like this one, actually. I would have to think back. I might have had something similar in ways, but I've never truly had a dream quite like this one. It's a special treat, I think, to have a vision like this, to have a dream that's so powerful and clear cut. And yeah, I used some AI art throughout this video to kind of showcase visually what the subscriber may or may not have been seeing. I don't know how well that came out. The subscriber would have to let me know. But yeah, it was a fascinating one to pull apart. But yeah, this was really, really cool dream. I want to do more of these. I want to do more subscriber dreams because they're, like I said, they're a little bit easier for me to do. They feel like a project that is somewhat achievable because it's a dream that's outside of myself. When I have my own dreams that I try to analyze, and I've told you guys this many times in my dream analysis videos, I don't always know what they mean, especially Grandma's house. I still don't understand every aspect of that dream because, like I said at the start of this video, it's a reflection of my unconscious. So I'm going to be picking away at some of my own dreams for the rest of my life. But when I get other people's dreams, a little bit more easier for me to crack them apart. But yeah, like I've said, if you guys want to share your dreams, if you want your dream analyzed next in one of these videos, definitely let me know down below in the comments. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about dream analysis, definitely let me know. I'm not an expert myself, but I get better at it every day. And if you guys have any suggestions or have anything to add to this dream, anything that you might have seen throughout my reading of it, or anything that might have popped out to you that you think there's a connection there, definitely let me know down below in the comments. I can't do this perfectly alone, and it would definitely help if I had some other people chiming in. So yeah, definitely let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of this all, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends to help boost this channel and the algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, it means the world to me. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.